Hey guys, Attorney Walter and I wanted to go through kind of a personal story to kind of walk you through what happened with me when I had COVID. I had it weeks and weeks ago, and the bottom line is this: I am still feeling some very, very strong fatigue as a result of it. And I wanted to walk you through exactly what happened to me so that you have an understanding of what could potentially happen to you. Now, I had two Pfizer shots. I didn't go get the third or the fourth. And basically, my thinking was that, I was at that point ready to roll. I was good. I was happy. I had had the two shots. Everything should have been fine. For all purposes, I was vaccinated. When I got the cold, the virus, the first thing I noticed was I was starting to get the sniffles, sore throat, difficulty swallowing, ears were popping, lack of taste abilities, and general body cramps. I want to talk to you exactly what happens with. Oh, happy Valentine's Day! Yes, happy Valentine's Day. I almost forgot. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Howdy, Ruthie, Wendy. I love pugs. Garden. Howdy, Deb Carter. So basically, what happened was I just started to get worse, and I did my usual. And what I do, and remember, I'm not a doctor of medicine, I'm a doctor of law, so Juris Doctorate as opposed to a medical doctorate. And I have a master's. But the bottom line is this: I did my usual. I go ahead and basically I brushed my teeth. I took a bunch of vitamins. I took some basic medicine. And here's one of the weird things I do that other people don't do, but it works for me usually with the common cold. Is I'll put like a mouthwash in my nose, and I'll put my head backward, and I'll let it kind of fall back, and I'll breathe backwards, and that actually gets into the little tube that connects your nose and your mouth. And for the most part, that should have worked if this was a common cold. It wasn't. By day two, I could barely move. And what it felt like is, imagine if you were a tree, and trees are made out of wood, which is a fibrous material, which means that you have all these intertwined little, basically pieces of matter that are just intertwined and woven and things like that. And what it felt like was that all of those, every time I would move, I could feel cracks in my body. And it didn't even have to be like major movements. It could have been a slow, simple, whatever movement. And it was so painful that I just didn't want to move. I didn't want to get to go to the bathroom. I didn't want to have to go to the fridge to get food. But I knew from when, getting sick before that, the first thing you've got to do is tank up on a ton of food, get as many calories into your body, because when you get really, really epic bad, that's when your body needs all those calories that are in your body. So I ate like it was a holiday at McDonald's. I just went full face forward into whatever I could eat. I ate as much as I could. And as a result of that, when day two of this whole COVID thing came around, I was bedridden. Couldn't do anything, couldn't think, couldn't, whatever. And the bottom line was I was freezing. What happened was day two, night, it was really the night then in between those two. I was freezing, couldn't produce any warmth. I kept waking up. I had this like pinkish, coralish looking phlegmy substance that I kept coughing up, and had a lot of fluid in my lungs, and I could barely breathe. It was absolutely horrible. Either way, I thought that night, literally, like it was either the emergency room or I was just gonna die in my bed or whatever. I was that bad where I couldn't. There was no functional ability. And little Shadow actually ran over, realized that I was shivering uncontrollably, got under the covers, curled into a little ball, and then I kind of curled around him. And albeit he's a small dog and therefore a shitty heater, I was able to get enough heat to go ahead and snuggle him. Sweetie, however, my big piggy dog, I don't know where she was. She was nowhere to be seen. I mean, that could have been, she was like a fire worth of heat, and I could have used that. But anyways, point is, I was super epic sick. That day after that, right? So that was the night. The next day after that, I was unable to really walk in a normal way. I was walking like a 90-year-old, 100-year-old person. My knees were cracking in and out. It didn't feel like they were aligned properly. When I'd move my wrists like this, it was okay. But if I did any of this, I was in extreme pain with my ears would ring. It was one of those horrible situations where I just couldn't focus. I'm unique, just like everyone else. Thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. Excellent. So what happened was, I basically was in this really crappy situation. And keep in mind, this is all happening like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those were the main days I was super sick, and I wasn't able to do any law firm activities. So the law firm was just kind of like everybody, back office, front office, was doing their thing. And what happened was I couldn't even watch television. I couldn't watch shows. I couldn't do any of that stuff. I was bedridden. Now, was I angry about, having these two, these shots, right? The vaccine from Pfizer, and it being damn near, it was useless against this, right? Was I angry about it? No, I couldn't even think to form emotion at that point. I couldn't physically move. I couldn't do stuff properly. It was just, I was bedridden. So day 3 comes around, feeling slightly better, but still very, very, very crappy. And the main thing was this: the main thing that I thought I was going to basically pass away from was the fluid in the lungs and the lack of heat. When your body can't produce heat, you shake uncontrollably. You can't do anything. We are warm-blooded creatures, and when you don't have any warm blood, it's really bad. I was wearing 4 sweatshirts, 2 pairs of sweatpants, 2 pairs of socks, like the heavy socks, not the Walmart socks. And, it was one of those things where I could just not produce heat. We called the doctor to just try and get me in. They would not see me. They wouldn't allow me anywhere near them. Had to be telehealth. Got them on the phone, explained what was going on. And basically they're like, all right, well, blah, 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 we'll send you some medicine. But by the time I go pick up the medicine, we're through the majority of the audio. So what happened was, day 3, I was able to do some functional things, but still extremely limited. Day 4 rolls around. I still have a lot of body aches, pain, but the fluid is out of my lungs. My head is super stuffed. I can't breathe in the sense of getting air through my nose. My throat is swollen, and my ears constantly popping and ringing. So then I get to basically, through this day 4, day 5 kind of situation. It took until, I would say, after a week and a half for my body to finally give up on all of that, breaking point, fiber breaking feeling, where my body was just having extreme body cramps all over. Any movements, I had problems. And then now, 4 or 5, whatever weeks later now that it is, I can tell you very strongly, and this is important, that I'm still extremely tired. I'm still worn out. Over the weekend, I woke up on Saturday at 11 a.m. On Sunday, I woke up at 12 noon. I've never done that in my entire life, but for this whole COVID thing causing me to not have full capacity to do work. It's weird. As many people say, I have a lot of fuel in my tank. I am a very like, go, 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 push, 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 push. Why aren't you pushing hard? I'm one of those types of like, get her done. Why wasn't it done? We could do better. How do we innovate the future? Why haven't we beaten every other country on making this better? Yada, yada. So as a result of that, I wasn't like that. And it's just miserable. I'm still not my normal self. I still don't have all that power. I still look like a tired person, but that also has to be, that's a result of graduating nearly from every academia institute early, having a master's, a doctorate, owning a law firm for 8 or 9 years, blah, 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 all that stuff. But with that said, I've never been this tired in my entire life. I used to be able to work through the night and then do the next day just fine. Now I can't do that. Another thing that was interesting, my heart rate is always fast. It's always been fast. Classic sign that probably I'll die early, but hey, who cares? It is what it is. The point is that my heart is usually like 95-ish. It's faster. It goes faster than the average person's heart. My heart was soaring to 100 to 110 throughout this process. So what was interesting is that my heart was consistently at a higher rate. It was pumping, 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 pushing more than usual. So yeah, it's just one of those things where I just wanted you guys to know what I went through. I am essentially, 1986. That's the year I was born. Graduated early from most things. Fully vaccinated with the 2 shots from Pfizer, and which I still had, and literally, I mean, it was emergency room or survive in the bed or die. Those were my 3 options that one night. But thanks to Little Shadow, my little, tiny monster, I was able to get enough warmth. And the amazing thing about it was that we were under like 4 or 5 blankets. I still couldn't get enough warmth, but it took his warmth to fill that area so I could curl around him and then basically just survive that night. So my point to you guys is this. At the end of the day, I think this is really, 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 really important. Make sure you have a dog. And don't think that COVID is a joke. COVID is the real deal. Like, you get tested, you do the thing with your nose, you put it back in the little jar, you give them the yada yada. And then you get it back, you get a thing on your phone. It's like, yes, you're positive. And you already know you're positive because you've never been this sick in your entire life. But the point is this, don't think don't think a young person like me who should be healthy and overachiever wants to do great things. Don't think somebody like me couldn't get it. And remember too, I'm a guy that works around homeless people all the time. I've been, I interact with people who have the flu all the time and I don't get it. I interact with people who have all kinds of things all the time and I don't get it. It is unfortunately a situation where at the end of the day, it totally kicked my butt. And there was that night, I thought I was done. I thought I was just it was over. It was it was terrible. And it's weird. I've never had my lungs filled with that much fluid before. And it's not like, oh, I'm just heavy, I'm sloshing around. It's this weird it's like, and it's not even like something sitting on top of your chest. It's like something. It's like you filled your lungs with food. It's like you've got a food baby in your lungs. And that's the best way I can explain it. Like you have a food baby in your lungs and you're just like, you're trying to bring the air in, but you can't get enough. And then you start getting that bubbling, kind of fizzing, kind of coral looking stuff popping out. And it's just miserable, absolutely miserable. Anyways, guys, I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll catch you a little bit later. I might do another video. I'm not really sure. But bottom line is this, I really want to do a video on the 8-step sequential process, which are the elements, because so many people right now are getting kicked off of disability benefits. There's 2 crappy parts of the disability system right now. Crappy part number 1 is that every adjudication is taking months and months and months and months and months and months longer than it normally does. It's just taking forever right now. Crappy thing number 2 is that they're kicking people off of disability benefits at a record pace. So I think I'll do one more video, the 8-step sequential process, which are the 8 elements which define essentially whether or not, putting it simply, they are going to, keep you on the disability train or keep you off the disability train. Going through a classic cessation of benefits, going through a CDR, short form, long form. These are the elements, the 8 elements that they use to decide if you can stay on essentially disability benefits. Either way, guys, I'll catch you a little bit later. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and thank you so much. Alrighty, guys. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.